Hey guys, this is Scott from Forgot to Grow Up Podcast. Welcome to week 9 of our countdown to Avengers Infinity War, our weekly video series where I break down a different MCU movie leading up to the big event in May, the Avengers Infinity War movie release. So this week I'm covering the 9th installment in the MCU, the second Captain America movie, Captain America: The Winter Soldier from 2014. This sees the return of Captain America, Black Widow, Nick Fury, and we get introduced to the Falcon, played by Anthony Mackie. Alright guys, so as always, I'm going to dive right into the film, break it down for you now, and then at the end I'll have 3 trivia facts about the film for you. Alright, so let's just dive right in. So this film takes place 2 years after the Battle of New York, aka the Avengers movie, and Steve Rogers, aka Captain America, has been working with S.H.I.E.L.D.'s counterterrorism team, codenamed Strike. That's an acronym, I don't know what it stands for. But that team's led by Agent Rumlow, who's played by Frank Grillo, who's awesome. Anyways, so after a mission at the beginning of the film with Black Widow and Strike Team, Captain America finds himself really tired of Nick Fury and all his secrets. Nick Fury has been keeping things from him on different missions, and Captain America's sick of it. And this leads Nick Fury to sharing a little. He's like, I share. Here's some flying guns, which is Project Insight, which is 3 giant helicarriers, the same type of helicarriers that we saw in the Avengers movie, but they've been upgraded with bigger guns, better engines, all this stuff so that they can shoot more things, and there's 3 of them. And Nick Fury's pretty psyched about it. He wants to get these things in the sky to protect everybody, but Captain America's a little bit like, are you just going to hold a gun over the world and tell them all they're safe? And it's just like, they have a little conflict there, but before they can really resolve that, Nick Fury gets into a little trouble himself. He wants to delay Project Insight because he finds some things that don't quite add up, and he's worried about somebody misusing Project Insight because it is a bunch of flying guns. Yeah, so, he wants to delay it to ensure that nothing bad could happen, but after he's put that order into effect, he ends up getting killed by the Winter Soldier. That's right, somebody tracks him down. He goes through an awesome fight, or action scene, not fight scene. There's a little bit of fighting, but it's mainly an action scene. He shoots some people, cool driving scene, but then he gets killed by the Winter Soldier. And with this happening, Alexander Pierce, who is a head up at S.H.I.E.L.D., who is part of the World Security Council, so he's kind of Nick Fury's boss, that guy turns S.H.I.E.L.D. against Captain America and Black Widow because he thinks that they have something to do with Nick Fury's death or something along those lines. It's a little vague why they all turn on Captain America until we find out a little later in the film why he turned. So anyways, Captain America and Black Widow are on the run. They end up getting help from the Falcon, team up with the Falcon, to try and figure out what's going on with S.H.I.E.L.D., what's going on with Project Insight, who killed Nick Fury, who's the Winter Soldier, all these things. They have questions that they want to figure out. So the 3 of them team up, and they follow the breadcrumbs, and they end up figuring out that Hydra's still kicking around. That's right, Hydra from Captain America 1, the first Avenger, the first movie with Captain America, they're still kicking around. They thought that they had died off with the Nazis, but apparently they just went underground, and they've infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. That's right, they've taken over S.H.I.E.L.D. What S.H.I.E.L.D. agents are Hydra and which ones are S.H.I.E.L.D.? We don't know. That's the confusing part. That's the problem of the movie. Alright, so Captain and the team have to figure out what their plan is. And what they find out is the Hydra plans to use Project Insight to eliminate a huge chunk of the world. All the people that might fight against Hydra's, world domination. People like Captain America, Stephen Strange gets a name drop in there, Bruce Banner, different superheroes that they just want to kill. So that's the thing that Nick Fury was worried about. It's that Hydra actually is in S.H.I.E.L.D. and they took over Project Insight, and they're going to launch the 3 helicarriers up into the sky with the big guns and just kill a bunch of people, millions of people. So obviously Cap and the team must fight to defeat Hydra and save the day, and they end up doing a pretty good job. The 3 of them have to end up taking down the 3 helicarriers, but not before Cap's confronted by the Winter Soldier, who we discovered slightly early in the film was actually Bucky Barnes, Cap's best friend from the first movie, his childhood best friend. We see him that he was taken by the Russians and turned into the Winter Soldier, an assassin with an awesome robotic arm, which is really strong apparently because he can keep up against Captain America. The two of them end up fighting it out, but they also end up saving each other because Cap ends up being able to break through Bucky / the Winter Soldier's brainwashing, and the Winter Soldier, after throwing Captain America, or letting Captain America fall out of one of the blowing up helicarriers, he ends up diving into the water and saving Captain America. And so we find out there's a little hope for the Winter Soldier yet. But that's how it ends. Cap defeats Hydra, kind of. You're still not sure who Hydra is. They put all the information on the internet, but they didn't stick around to try and solve it, I guess. But we also find out that Nick Fury was still alive. He came back and helped. And we see at the end that he's going to go around cleaning up these last little bits of Hydra, which I think is what leads into, obviously, the Avengers 2 events. Alright, but that's the film for you guys, except there was 2 post-credit scenes for this film as well. Alright, so the first post-credit scene is in a Hydra facility, and we see Loki's scepter from the Avengers movie, the thing that brainwashed people. We see a glimpse of that, and then we catch a quick glimpse of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver just in a room, not under control of their powers, but you get to see Quicksilver bouncing off the walls and Scarlet Witch doing some Scarlet Witch stuff. And that's the first of the post-credit scenes. And then the second one, guys, we see Bucky, the Winter Soldier, visiting the Smithsonian, checking out the Captain America / Bucky Barnes exhibit, and you can see that he's starting to remember who he was before he was brainwashed by the Russians to be Russian / it was more Hydra than the Russians, but it was a Russian sector of Hydra that had brainwashed him and was using him, and yada yada. The point is, he's starting to regain his memory, and that's the second post-credit scene. So that's the movie for you guys. Alright, I just got 3 trivia facts quickly for you guys left, and we'll be done today. So the first trivia fact is Cap has a catch-up list that he writes in throughout the movie, and the one cool little thing about that was that in different countries, that list was different. So for the different releases in different countries, they did a little CGI editing, and they changed a few things. So for instance, in the UK, it included things like the Beatles and Sherlock Holmes. I'm assuming the movie or the show, it's hard to say. It'd be kind of funny if it was the movie, considering the movie was Robert Downey Jr. Anyways, so in Australia, it had AC/DC, and in France, it had Daft Punk and other things. Those were just little examples of how they changed it between countries, which I thought was pretty cool. So the second trivia fact I have for you guys is that this is the first Captain America appearance where he doesn't touch or use a gun at all. That's right, so his first one, in the first movie, he was running around Europe with a pistol. In the Avengers, he was using a couple alien guns a couple times to, shoot the aliens. But this movie, he just used his shield as a really heavy frisbee. They just threw at people and it bounced off their heads, and it made no sense, but it was cool. So he doesn't use a gun. And the last fact I have for you guys is pretty tiny, and it was scraping the bottom of the barrel for these facts, but the last one is the Winter Soldier doesn't show up in this movie until 32 minutes in. So one of the title characters, his name is in the movie's title, and he doesn't show up for 30 minutes into this 2-hour movie. That's 25% into the film before we get an appearance from him, but it's so cool. He still shows up and does a good job. Anyways, that's the last trivia fact I have for you guys, and that's all I have for week 9. Hope you guys enjoyed this week's breakdown and trivia facts. Let me know what you guys thought of Captain America, the Winter Soldier in the comments below, and let me know how excited you guys are for the upcoming Avengers. We're getting so close. We're about halfway there. Halfway through the list. Halfway to Avengers Infinity War. We only got 9 more weeks left. I'm really excited. Let me know how excited you guys are in the comments below. Thanks again for watching today, guys. Have a good one.